A roaring blaze is almost always sure to stop you dead in your tracks. And for a random passerby, this would be the case. But it wasn't the raging fire that concerned him. It was the burning contents of this eerie inferno. A 26-year-old woman was found laying lifeless in an alley, and she was set ablaze. Despite all the heat, what makes this even more chilling is that the 26-year-old woman was pregnant. This is the horrific tragedy of Nkya Rebecca Logan. Hey Boujee True Crimers, and welcome back to another episode of Evil Strikes, Holiday Horror Christmas Edition. If you're new, welcome to Evil Strikes, an ongoing true crime series delivered to you through a makeup tutorial or commentary. So join the rest of us, get comfortable, and subscribe to the channel for more crime stories. A Fresno, California woman was 36 weeks pregnant and found dead after she was fatally stabbed and set on fire in an alley. The suspect, her brother. The Fresno Police Department Chief of Police, Paco Balderrama, identified the woman as 26-year-old Nkya Rebecca Logan, revealing that she had been stabbed to death and set on fire, said in a news briefing on Wednesday. Nkya appeared to be a very quiet person who had a lot of friends and family that cared about her. She didn't really post too much about her personal business on social media, which I think a lot of us can take a lesson or two from. I tried to look up some information about her through social media, but the only thing I was able to find was her Facebook account. And according to said Facebook account, she liked sports, and one of her favorite NFL teams was the San Francisco 49ers. And as for basketball, she liked the LA Lakers. It also appears that Nkya was definitely into music, and some of her favorite genres included hip hop as well as R&B. And some of her favorite artists included New Boys as far as hip hop goes, and R&B, she liked Mary J. Blige, Jennifer Hudson, and Trey Songz. She was a 2015 graduate from Fresno City College, and she was going for her RN. So although Nkya wasn't too transparent online, we can gather that she definitely wanted to make sure that her future was as bright as possible. And as Nkya stepped into adulthood, she would eventually be blessed with the news of learning that she was pregnant. Logan was 36 weeks pregnant and celebrated her baby shower this past Sunday, December 11th. She planned to name her unborn son Noah, Balderrama shared. Balderrama said the deaths, Logan and her unborn child, marked the 57th and 58th murders in the city.
I'm Paco Balderrama, Chief of Police for the Fresno Police Department, and we're here to talk about homicides number 57, and it looks like it's going to be 58 as well.
Balderrama said around 12:30 p.m. local time on Tuesday, the Fresno Fire Department and FPD were alerted to a fire on an unpaved alley on the 4400 block of North Cornelia Street. When they arrived, they saw a victim who had been set on fire, completely engulfed in flames, said the police chief. After authorities managed to gather several pieces of evidence, they arrested her brother, 41-year-old Aaron Jamal Dudley. He and Logan lived in the same home with their mother, said Balderrama, adding that the alleged suspect is connected to the physical evidence found at the crime scene. We have several witnesses who saw the fire, but one witness who actually took a picture of a person who we believe is the suspect standing over the body. Several surveillance videos which show the suspect pushing a trash bin as well, and we believe the victim was inside the trash bin. She was taken to the alley before she was set on fire. Fresno County's District Attorney Lisa A. Smitkamp took to the podium and sent condolences to Logan's family. She said that her office has not officially been given the case. However, it plans to charge the suspect with 2 counts of murder as, quote unquote, the killing of a fetus is murder, when it's the past stage of an embryo.
We don't have the reports yet. We have not been officially given the case yet, so I have a very short statement. I just want to clarify for the media that the definition of murder is the unlawful killing of a human being or a fetus with malice aforethought. And I'm sure that the question is going to come up, so we'll go ahead and just provide that information. A third-party killing of a fetus with malice aforethought is murder, as long as it can be shown that the fetus had progressed beyond the embryonic stage, which in the medical field is defined, and in the law is defined as 7 to 8 weeks. So viability of the fetus outside the womb, and in other words, the ability of that fetus to live outside the womb, is not an element of the crime in order to prove a fetal murder.
The DA's office also plans to push for the death penalty.
Emphatically, it is my anticipation that the people will be filing 2 counts of first-degree murder in this case with special circumstances that will make this defendant eligible for the death penalty.
Valderrama returned and took questions from reporters, stating that Dudley was arrested as he tried to, quote, run away from the home, end quote. Officers were executing a search warrant after having, quote, suspicions that the brother may be involved, end quote. Once inside the house, authorities found evidence that linked Dudley to the crimes. Valderrama noted that authorities had been to the home before, and Dudley was allegedly declared unsafe around family members. He made it clear that Dudley's alleged actions after the murder, from trying to dispose of the body to attempting to avoid police, indicates that he's mentally fit to withstand trial.
Where exactly was he arrested?
He was arrested actually running from the home. Our detectives went back to the house to try to process the scene. We obtained a search warrant. We had suspicions that it could be the brother may have been involved. And, he ran for police, which is something very typical of a guilty person. When you come to investigate, tried to run from the home, and that's when he was detained. We obtained all the proper and appropriate search warrants to process the house. And once inside the house, we did find, I don't want to get into details, but I can tell you that there was evidence found at the house which connected him to this murder.
And I wanted to take a moment to commend Officer Valderrama on zeroing in on mental illness. Because as we all know, mental illness is steadily on the rise as the number one reason why S-words happen, and also the number one cop-out for when suspects are apprehended and a reason is given as to why they committed said crime. And he goes into further detail with explaining why the suspect, which is Nkya's brother, is not considered a person who is suffering from mental illness and knew right from wrong and understood exactly what it is that he was doing. Police believe Logan was killed inside of her home before she was taken to the alley 4 blocks away and set on fire. He said, adding that the incident called for much planning beforehand. There weren't many details on the brother-sister dynamic between Nkya and her 41-year-old brother, so unfortunately, we will not be able to understand what led to the ongoing fear that she had for him. But what we do know is that she did make an attempt to get him removed from the environment, but unfortunately, he didn't see that was necessary to go anywhere. Nkya lived in constant fear, and that is no way for any person to be going through life, especially when pregnant and when that fear is inflicted on by a sibling. Today's case is truly a sad one because not only did Nkya lose her life, but so did her baby, who didn't even get a chance at life. And this serves as a reminder to make sure that you prioritize your safety. And remember that anyone, and I mean anyone, is eligible to be removed from your life if they are bringing more harm than good. That also extends to family. There are too many times where we excuse behavior from people because they're blood related, quote unquote. It doesn't matter what your DNA is. If you are problematic, you got to go. Straight up, you have to go. And it's unfortunate for Nkya that she was actually taking the steps to remove the problem from her environment. But clearly, the situation got out of hand for whatever reason, and she paid the ultimate price, which was with not only her life, but her unborn son Noah's as well, who is also the nephew to the alleged suspect. A sincere condolences goes out to the family and loved ones of Nkya Logan and her unborn son Noah. It's so sad to see these crimes occurring day in and day out, especially around the holidays. So this will conclude today's holiday horror edition of Evil Strikes. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for tomorrow's episode. And of course, make sure you share, like, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode of Evil Strikes. Take care.